Hey, welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I hope each and every one of you are doing well today. And just before I get started here, I'd like to say be sure to comment, share, and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, Twitch. Follow me on Twitter, and please do follow me, subscribe to my channel on Rumble. I am going to start posting as soon as I can on Rumble. I've been putting off Rumble for a while. There's going to be content soon. I promise. All right. So right now, we just got to get the damn thing up to 100 subscribers. That's what I'm trying to do. And I may put content before then, but anyway, suffice to say, if y'all can do that, I will be very, very appreciative of it. So anyway, let's talk about an election that's coming up next week, because it's going to be the 4th of July in many, many ways, like you wouldn't believe. It's going to be it's going to be quite a spectacle. And what I'm going to say, I don't want to go and say too much that it will be considered conspiracy theories. But let me just say that there's going to be a lot of angry people from both parties pointing fingers at each other, accusing each other of things that may or may not be true on both sides as far as election results are concerned. I mean, this is going to be something that's going to be very new. Now, my prediction is, previously, my prediction was that the Republicans were going to go and originally, my prediction was going to be a massive Republican tidal wave initially. Earlier this year, I was just like, there was no way in hell Democrats are going to get their asses kicked. Well, then the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. And when that happened, all of a sudden, people got pissed off. They were like, damn, these crazy evangelicals, they're really going to go and try to impose Christian Sharia onto the American population. Well, the anger management is kind of gone. There's really nothing Biden has done. And, that's, other than some tweaks here and there, that's, a little more than virtue signaling. And honestly, there's things he could have done. He could have signed some executive orders. There are things he could do. I don't know how he could do it, but like term limits into the Supreme Court, I don't know how it can be done. It's going to be done through a constitutional amendment, expanding the courts, finding the way to circumvent the right-wing direction of the courts, because there are 2 Supreme Court justices who don't need to be there right now because of the fuckery of Mitch McConnell in 2016 and in 2020. Because what a piece of shit that Mitch McConnell is. We have 2 illegitimate justices in the Supreme Court. So I've thought long and hard about it and be like, term limits for sure, but maybe. Okay, fuck it. They want to play this game. We'll play this game. Okay, expand the fucking courts. I mean, honestly, I don't give a damn anymore. I mean, they're trying to do everything they can to undermine democracy and undermine and have it their way, and just gonna try to do everything they can to get their way. Well, fuck these people. Fuck Mitch McConnell and all these people. We're gonna go and try to do what we can. Well, I say we. I'm talking about what it defines the entire left, whether you're the Democrats or whether you're green or whether you're generic independent, what have you. If you're trying to shift the country in a better direction. And I really shouldn't even include most Democrats. I probably shouldn't even include 95% of the Democrats. To tell you the truth, I mean, they're, I would say 95% of them are as bad as Republicans. But suffice to say, I thought, and I'm going to get to what I need to get to in a second with Hillary Clinton. Then I thought, well, Jesus, okay, people were kind of mad now and everything. So there's going to be a slim majority for the Republicans, and the Democrats may pick up 1 or 2 seats in the U.S. Senate. Now it's looking like that the Republicans are going to go, and it may be a slim majority in the House. It may be, in the words of George Galloway, I'm paraphrasing him, a Republican victory of biblical proportions in a bloodbath in the U.S. House and U.S. Senate. Something that would be akin to 1994, 2010, 2014. I would add 2002 and 2004 because they were pretty bad too. Even though the Republicans were in power in 2002, 2004, they actually expanded their majority. So we don't know what's going to happen until it actually happens. But there was a lot of, but regardless, I predict it's going to be a Republican night where they're going to gloat. And I can't stand it when the Republicans and the right wing gloat, and they're going to be gloating on talk radio. They're going to be gloating on Fox News. They're going to be gloating on One American News Network, what's left of it, or Newsmax. They're going to be gloating all over the place. The right wing talking heads on the online right and all of that. They're going to be gloating. But there's also going to be people pissed off. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about who's going to be pissed off and the whole section of people who are going to be the recipient of the blame game. So we're going to start with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is going to be Hillary Clinton is talking about or entertaining the idea of running for president in 2024. Nobody liked her in 2008, and she got defeated in the primaries. She was almost defeated in 2016, and we'll just say that she had a lot of help. And I'll just keep it at that. Interpret it how you want to interpret it. She's thinking about running again. People don't like her. They don't like her. And she's very entitled. And she's going to go and present herself as a savior of sorts, telling everybody that I can lead. And she's going to tell people that she can lead. And she's going to be telling people, hey, we went too far to the left. As crazy as it is, fucking Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, corporate centrists, the Democrats in the House and the Senate, pretty much down the line, corporate, very centrist. But she's going to say we went too far left, which puts her more in agreement with Mitch McConnell than any progressive out there that's worth their stuff. So that's what we're going to be dealing with. We're going to be the Democratic National Committee, and their talking heads are going to do what they love to do best, and that is to blame the left and blame anybody who they think is part of the left, whether they're part of the left or not. So we're going to go through and the name of the game is to blame the left. And that's really what it comes down to. So we're going to go through the gamut of people like Hillary Clinton and who she'll end up blaming. And this is why, people, this is why I get very angry politically at times. So anyway, I will try to control my composure. I will try. So anyway, we all know what happened in 2016. Donald Trump won. And I'm going to make it clear. Donald Trump won the election. Yeah, he didn't win the popular vote, but he won the Electoral College. And that's how everything is set up. I wasn't popping champagne corks when he won, but that's how it is. I voted third party. I wasn't popping champagne corks with the 2020 result either, and Joe Biden won. There was no election fraud in either election of any great magnitude that the conspiracy theorists like Hillary Clinton for the 2016 or the Donald Trump apologists in 2020 claimed. I mean, other than infractions on the local level that doesn't amount to anything. And I'm just going to go and zip it at that. I never believed in Russiagate. And this whole idea that Putin was behind the scenes putting Trump in the White House is stupid. I mean, she even tried to pin Bernie Sanders to Putin, Jill Stein to Putin, and Tulsi Gabbard to Putin. Not that Tulsi Gabbard's on the left anymore, but I'm just saying, certainly not Donald Trump, but I'm just saying, and certainly not, I'm just saying. But that's the Hillary Clinton thing, and I am going to make what sounds like a conspiracy theory that we are having troops in Ukraine right now, and I am very concerned about my words because if we get into a war, I'm worried about what happened to anti-war voices like myself. And so, just kind of like at the very best, they could just shut me up, just shut down the channel so I won't talk. I mean, that'd probably be the best thing. That would probably be the best case scenario for me. And I'm not saying about me. I'm talking about people who are anti-war in general. But the worst case scenario is that they tend to take people who are critical of war and put them behind bars, like back in World War One. And I could see that scenario happening. The Espionage Act of 1917, they were putting people like Eugene Debs and trade unionists in jail and all of that. Everyone from Quakers to socialists were put in prison in World War One for opposing the Great War in Europe. Woodrow Wilson. It's one of the reasons I despise President Wilson historically. Having that said, people going around day to day, their lives would not worry about having not worry about the potential of a nuclear war. And, the thing about it is, I just think it sucks that we could have a nuclear war because, Hillary Clinton's pissed off that she lost the 2016 election. Just saying, just an observation. That's all, that's just an observation. So anyway, there's that. We'll start with, let's see, we'll start right here. That's where we'll start. We'll start with her chief nemesis, and that's Bernie Sanders. Now, I'm not the Bernie bro that I used to be. I mean, I will say that there's a part of me that still respect him in some areas, and I think he meant well and he tried, but I think it was a failure to go and try to reform the Democratic Party. I think it made sense to him. It could be done. And I hear the argument all the time, how it can be done. And it makes sense. We're locked in a two-party system, and it's all about trying to make the best out of a bad situation. But you could just go the saying, repeating insanities, repeating the same thing over and over again. You could just bash your head into a brick wall over and over again until you're knocked unconscious. I mean, look what happened with Biden. I mean, we on the left, I didn't. I voted for Howie Hawkins. But look at the people on the left that voted for Biden. The thing is, they were pragmatic. They didn't think that Biden was going to legislate through the vision of Bernie Sanders, but they thought that he was going to give us a little something. They thought that we were going to get a $15 minimum wage. We didn't get a $15 minimum wage. They thought that we were going to get a public option. We did not get a public option. They thought that we were going to have some kind of a Green New Deal. We don't have anything even close to a Green New Deal. They thought we were going to have, at the very least, free tuition for community college. We have nothing even close to that. And they're even means testing the student debt forgiveness of the $10,000. Let's see, what else? No Build Back Better. No lowering the prescription drug prices for the government to negotiate for lower prescription drugs. Let's see, no public option when even Medicare for all is not good enough. Honestly, I mean, it's better than nothing, but we need a national health service like they have in the UK. But we can't even get a public option, and they're not even discussing that. Nothing of really any serious economic tangible substance that's class reductionist that will have basically transformational change for average, poor, middle class, and even in Nina Turner's words, barely middle class people, that it will help. We didn't get any of that. And that was supposed to be largely the reason, for many folks to be voting for Biden, as far as the economics. And there were other reasons, Orange Man bad. And Orange Man is kind of crappy, but, so, and they're always going to blame Bernie. The corporate Democrats, they're always going to blame Bernie. They're going to blame Breonna Joy Gray. I mean, there's there are pockets of people calling her right wing. Because she doesn't go lockstep in the direction of normie Democrats. Well, I think that Breonna Joy Gray is very based, and I would love to see her run for president in the year 2028. I presume if she decides to run, she sounds very independent, and I would gladly like to see her run for president. One of these days, 2028, 2032. Breonna Gray, if you're listening, hope I planted a seed. Hope you'll run. I think you'll make a perfect candidate in 2028 or 2032. Consider running, please. But people telling me, Breonna Joy Gray, she's a rabbit hole to tankies. She's a social democrat. She's not a tanky. What the hell? People, and then Cenk Uygur thinks she's right wing. What the fuck? One thing I know, she was correct not to vote for Biden. And she was correct to support force the vote. So, people like her will be part of the people being blamed. So there's that. Well, there's more. There will be more people being blamed, and you know who else will be? Oh, good Lord! You know who else will be blamed, right? Well, okay, we know about Bernie bros, those Bernie Sanders supporters. You know the types, yeah. And of course, you have people like Abigail Spanberger in Virginia, who basically said that Joe Biden needs to stop governing like Franklin D. Roosevelt. Fuck Abigail Spanberger. Really, seriously. And the horse she ridden on. But, the thing about it is, they're also going to blame the squad. Oh, they're radical. They asked for too much. for the same, modest things. Well, they don't even ask for anything. They came in 2018 on what seemingly seemed like a radical platform, very centrist in most Western countries. But because America's so stupid and so far to the right in its Overton window, the modest things they were asking for when they were supposedly more radical, people were like, oh no, we're going to turn into Venezuela, we're going to turn into Cuba because of these poor women. And the extra people that were elected into Congress is now part of the squad, and some of the friends of the squad. They didn't do force a vote, and they pretty much are locked step in line behind the administration. I mean, what does it tell you when there's more rebellion on the Republican side at times than there are on the Democratic side? And I despise Republicans in Congress. And that's sad. That really is sad. But, these ladies and allies are going to be blamed. They're going to be blamed. So we get to oh gosh, the next person that's going to be blamed for this. And oh gosh, I got a whole lot to say about the next person that's going to be blamed. I sure do. I have a lot to say about the next person to be blamed, and that's going to be a famous journalist, lawyer, civil libertarian, Glenn Greenwald. Glenn Greenwald is being called right-wing these days because he goes on Tucker Carlson, and because because some conservatives like him, because he happens to take some stances that are different and contrarian from modern liberals today, where his positions is no different from that of most ACLU lawyers a generation ago, which was pretty damn far left. And those are positions from 30 and 40 years ago that most people on the right still hates today. And the thing about it is, they were like, some people were like, well, Glenn Greenwald, I mean, he's right wing, he's pro-Trump. I never heard him say he was pro-Trump. He disparages against Trump derangement syndrome, but he's not pro-Trump. Some people even accuse him of being pro-Bolsonaro. The man that got Lula free from prison, the man that's responsible for Lula's victory in Brazil a few days ago. He's pro-Bolsonaro. A Jewish gay man married to a black gay man who is a socialist member of the Parliament of Congress in Brazil from the Brazilian Labor Party, formerly the Socialism and Liberty Party. That right-wing people in Brazil who hates Glenn Greenwald, who hates David Miranda, who has their lives threatened all the time, so much so that they had to have 24-hour protection, 7 days a week security at their home in Rio. That's right-wing. It's true that Glenn Greenwald is not a socialist. It's true that he is not a communist or a Marxist or what have you. I'm to the left on a lot of economics. I'm probably to the left of Glenn Greenwald. Glenn Greenwald is probably like a generic liberal Democrat in a lot of ways in context of the American politics. I mean, from what I can tell, he's not right wing. From what I can tell. I mean, he's a free speech guy. I mean, he advocates for Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, and that's not right wing. But the Hillary Clinton people think he is, and there are unfortunately good people I know on the left that thinks he is too at this point in time. And this is where this is the situation that we live in today in this country, where people who are on the left are viewed as right wing. I will, you know what? When I'm done with this video, if I can remember it. In fact, I'm going to make a note of it right now. Speaking of which, to go and urge you to follow a channel called Turncoat Don, who makes fun of the shit libs that basically call leftists right wingers. He has a good channel and everything. And I'm going to put that information down, and if you go on my community part of the YouTube page, if I can remember it. In fact, I'm going to write that down. I'll leave a sketch up there for y'all, so you get an example of his work. One of my favorites right now. So anyway, let's get back to what I was going to discuss here. Yeah, I mean, the corporate Democrats are going to be sniffing for blood. I mean, they really are. Susan Sarandon. Now, she is always she's always the punching bag for corporate Democrats for many years. I mean, and even though she voted for Joe Biden in 2020 because she didn't want to have people give her a lot of grief about what she did in 2016, voting for Jill Stein. Well, that wasn't good enough. I still hear people giving her a lot of grief. Say, oh yeah, she's responsible for Trump winning. Oh, they're going to go and throw her name around. Yeah, the Brooklyn Dad Defiance out there. These types. That's what they're good for. And people in the mainstream press. I mean, that's what they're good for. They're going to attack people with really decent politics, kind of like Sue Sarandon types and everything. And it's so funny because they're more willing to attack Susan Sarandon's politics than they are someone like Chuck Norris or some asshole like that. They never bothered those people ever, never, ever. So let's see who's another one. Ah, yes. Well, let's start with this one. Elizabeth Warren. Now, Elizabeth Warren also, she's a snake. I mean, she's sneaky. She will just strike at you with her venom. And she's not who she says she is. But the corporate Democrats think she is basically Bernie Sanders in a female pantsuit, and and they think that she's basically no different from the Squad. They think that basically she's basically a female. What's his name? Richard Wolff, the economist. I mean, that's what they think she is. I mean, and she may have had those sentiments until it became a little more her while to step closer to the center. And well, going into conspiracy theories, I'm going to say that what she did in Massachusetts, I'll never forgive her for it. Even though I'm mad at Bernie, I still will never forgive her for Massachusetts. Keep that in mind. And I will call her a snake every day, and I will put snake emojis in all everywhere in social media that she's located in. She runs in 2024. So there you go. So Yeah, I will never forgive. I will never forgive her. She would never be forgiven, as far as I'm concerned. But Hillary Clinton and the corporate Democrats think she's also one of them. So, and she's not. So, let's see who else. Who else? Who else? Oh, good Lord. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah. Another punching bag. Because she's always going to be blamed for 2016. Jill Stein. And I saw Jill Stein back earlier last month at the Assange, the event for Julian Assange, and she spoke. I voted for her in 2016, and I'm glad I did. I'm not sorry I did. I mean, North Carolina voted for Trump anyway. I don't know why people were pissed off that I voted for Jill Stein. I would vote for her again. It's very simple. If the Democrats wants my vote for president, or if a Democrat wants my vote for Congress or for the U.S. Senate or any office, they need to stop running as Republican light. And even if they campaign on good policy, once they're in there, they need to actually fight for those good policies. You see, AOC says good things, but once she's in power, once she's in Congress, as a member of Congress, she doesn't do shit. I mean, it pains me to say that. It pains me to say that. I was patient with her until forced to vote, and then I just started losing patience with her. No, I think they beat up on her all the time. Corporate Democrats beat up on her in ways that is stupid, and the right wing or vilify her, and sometimes she's a basket case. And sometimes she gets harassed and all of that. But the thing about it is, you got to go and get elected and be a troublemaker. Until then, you got to earn my vote. And until then, I will vote for the Jill Steins of the world and do it unapologetically and do it proudly. And, instead of getting mad at people like me that vote for Jill Stein, why don't you get mad at people who voted for Trump or people who don't vote at all? Or be mad at the Democrats who decided to basically be corporate Democrats, Republican light, promising to only be less shitty than a Republican. Pretty damn radical idea, isn't it? Has kind of a charm to it, right? Yeah. So anyway, another punching bag again. Oh yeah, and people just like Glenn Greenwald. People think that this guy's right wing, Jimmy Dore. And so, because he's tough on not just on the corporate Democrats, but on some of the progressive lawmakers who are not doing their jobs. Now, sometimes I think he might be a little tougher than he should be, but point is that most of the time our progressive allies are not doing their job, and honestly, if they were, I think he would actually give them the praise that they deserve. And so he's a much more honest actor than someone like someone that will listen to TYT or Sam Cedar, that will sit there and go rah 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 squad, rah rah rah, Bernie, rah rah rah, when push comes to shove on election day for the presidency in 2024 or back in 2020 or previously, whatever Democrat is running. Oh, excuse me. And he said, I don't criticize, I don't criticize Democrats because I support Republicans. I criticize Democrats because they support Republicans. I don't know why people can't get that. And again, sometimes there are certain issues and certain issues where I don't necessarily, I don't quite figure it out. But, at the same time, there's sometimes he hit the nail right on the head, and some people deserve to be, harshly criticized. And so, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Jimmy Dore's, criticisms of people who deserve to be criticized. So, and I know some people who listens to this program, and people I know, half of my left-wing friends love him, and half of my left-wing friends hate his guts. And so, just how it is. And, and I considered myself, until previously, sort of, my politics was sort of, as far as the online left, my politics was sort of somewhere hovering between the Kyle Kalinske left and the Jimmy Dore left. But I just don't want to become a Biden bro. And while I think that Kyle Kalinski's commentaries and content is better than, let's say, TYT or Sam Cedar or what have you, he just needs to stop being so rah Joe Biden. He will never be Dark Brandon with me. Joe Biden will never become Dark Brandon. I think that some of the Republican right-wing attacks on Joe Biden is retarded, but he will never be Dark Brandon. And Joe Biden is a corporate Democrat through and through. I mean, from his past, he just jumped on board with the DLC as soon as he could when it became a thing. So, there's no reason for me to go rah Joe Biden. I'm not sorry that I voted for Howie Hawkins. I would vote for Howie Hawkins again. So there is also that. Now, this person is probably one of the most controversial, and I'm kind of mad at her at the moment, but she invokes a lot of rage from a lot of people on the Democratic side and on the left, depending on who. And there's still people on the left that loves her too. And that's Tulsi Gabbard. And Hillary Clinton basically accused her of being pro-Russian and a pro-Russian asset and all of that, and pro-Assad and I have less of a problem with that than I do her socially conservative positions. Because at least if she is pro-Assad or if she's pro-Russia, she's doing it from a perspective of a pro-peace position, if she is in fact that. But the problem I have with Tulsi Gabbard is the culture war shit. I mean, in her grift, when she was leaving Congress, she was talking about in Congress, she was voting with Ro Khanna and AOC on the PAYGO thing, which was pretty damn base. And she was trying to introduce legislation for a UBI during the early days of COVID, which was awesome. She was roughly on board with Medicare for All, but it was her own variation of it, and it was not as good as the Bernie variation of Medicare for All, and only the Bernie plan of Medicare for All was the best plan of all the Democrats running in 2020. Everybody else who said they were for Medicare for All did not know what the hell Medicare for All was. It just sounded like Obamacare with a robust public option. That's not Medicare for All. It's Obamacare with a robust public option. Now, her plan was closer to an Australian-style system that's almost an Obama-style system, because previous conservative governments have actually gutted the public system called Medibank, and that's another story for another time. And I hope that the new government, labor that's in power right now, could do something about that and repair those damages. Because just anyway. Suffice to say, Tulsi Gabbard could have exited out of Congress, coordinating with the squad on things like force to vote. But instead, she decided to do things like propose or co-author anti-trans legislation. And I'm like, what the fuck is that about? Why the fuck are you doing that? And then she started embracing some precarious right-wing positions. And I just can't handle that, and I'm not a cancel culture kind of person, but just because I'm not a cancel culture kind of person doesn't mean that I can't criticize her when she comes up with these awful positions. But as awful as some of her positions are today, I still have more respect for Tulsi Gabbard than I do Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton, I blame Hillary Clinton for pushing Tulsi Gabbard. Whatever right-wing, whatever negative direction she's in right now, I directly blame Hillary Clinton for this. I have all kinds of reasons to despise Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton, the Democrats, you need to realize Hillary Clinton is toxic. She is absolutely toxic. And I am not speaking as some right-wing person that has a hatred for them. No. Fuck those right-wing people that hated her. They hate her for the wrong reasons. They hate her because they think she's some left-winger. No, fuck them. No. There's a good reason to hate Hillary Clinton. She Reaganized the Democratic Party with her husband, Bill Clinton, in the 1990s through the Democratic Leadership Council. And that's a good reason to hate Hillary Clinton. And she pushed people like Tulsi Gabbard to the right. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. But this is a cross section of the people that will be blamed. They will be blamed for what happened to the Democrats. Likely to what will happen to the Democrats next week. I mean, we don't know until we get there. I mean, we don't know when we get there. And of course, if by some miracle that the Democrats retain their House majority and pick up seats in the Senate, which I find doubtful at this point, but that's what happened. Instead of blaming the left, they're going to say, well, Clintonism works. Being a centrist works. And again, they're never going to give the left the credit that they deserve on anything. And I really believe that the Democrats who are indeed sincere leftists, I'm talking about people who are voters, that their hearts are in the right places. When I say right, I mean left. Even if you can't break away from the Democratic Party, will you at least consider voting for an independent progressive occasionally? Will you at least do that? Would it hurt you to vote for a Green occasionally, or a socialist, or some generic independent progressive? I mean, because honestly, they got to learn. They got to learn that the left are not to be trifled with. I mean, they shouldn't be. So anyway, I just wanted to go and share all of that here and everything. So we have here on the chat line. Yes, Warren. Thank you as well. I absolutely agree. Let's see. Will, can you also link your YouTube to Rumble, and it will automatically transfer your YouTube video to Rumble? I have it on my StreamYards, and I've been having a little trouble with that. That's one of the reasons why I have not streamed on Rumble yet, and I'm still trying to figure that out. So that's partly that. So, and Jimmy, and how are you today? I'm good. I'm I'm good. I'm just ready to take a nap and all of that. But I'm just kind of wound up about this election thing and seeing how it's going to turn out next week and everything. So we'll see what happens. So let's see here. Let me know if you need any help with that, man. I appreciate that, Warren. I really do. I really do. So anyway, if you all like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree with what I have to say, comment anyway. We will have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, YouTube, Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. I am on Twitter 24 hours a day, even when I'm almost asleep. I'm on Twitter. So, also, hopefully soon you'll be seeing me stream on Rumble. For all those who've actually subscribed to my Rumble channel today, thank you as well for subscribing. And until next time, I am Willie Bragg, and I will talk to you all next time, and I will conclude with some music.